She might have been Tina Charles' kryptonite. She was a lot of players' kryptonite. Diamond Miller checks in for Minnesota, hands it off to Nafisa Call.
No, like a flagrant foul can't happen, be called correctly on the day without something going crazy. Doesn't matter who it's by. Does not matter who it's by.
The WNBA has consistently provided a platform for fierce rivalry, highlighting some of the world's most skilled athletes. However, this intensity occasionally overflows, igniting passionate discussions, stirring fan discontent, and fueling media excitement.
Cheryl did say, Tina Charles better feel all of us in this game tonight, not just one of us. We're going to have to come at her as a team. Charles hands the opening.
An example of such an occurrence transpired on May 21st, 2025, during a game between the Dallas Wings and the Minnesota Lynx. Wings player Dijonai Carrington was at the center of a contentious play that has sparked widespread conversation.
Shot, Heidemann in the open court, gives it up to Shepard, who is hammered. And Shepard gets up, looks at Dijonai Carrington, teammates are holding her back.
And now, things get even more intense. Carrington's behavior on the court has prompted demands for her suspension, with many accusing her of a brutal attack on a Lynx player. But what exactly unfolded? Why is this incident creating such a blaze of controversy?
Frustration there by Jessica Shepard.
Carrington went in hard against Shepard. Everybody is okay. Nobody hurt on the play.
From her reputation as a fierce and gritty defender to the split-second reactions from fans and experts alike, this story is packed with complexity that calls for a deep dive. And the wildest part? It's all 100% real.
Like, this, when you put this in slow motion, and anything looks bad, any flagrant foul looks bad in slow motion. In real time, the dumbest thing, like, it was dumb. It was dumb and reckless. Like, the only person, and by the way, she didn't get her eye. She ended up hitting her like here. She barely grazed her head. Like, you can say, oh, the intent is there. I'm sorry, but it wants to go viral. Do we not remember last year when she chased Caitlin around the court doing that? Like, do we not remember? She hit a three and it runs in front of Caitlin Clark doing that, and Caitlin just is ignoring her. And the next possession, Caitlin shoots a step back in her face, and she's still trying to chase Caitlin.
The Dallas Wings clashed with the Minnesota Lynx at Target Center in Minneapolis for their second encounter of the 2025 WNBA season. The atmosphere heated up early, as the game coincided with the emotional return of Paige Bueckers, the top overall pick in the 2025 WA draft, back to her home state of Minnesota. Coming off a challenging 9-31 campaign in 2024, the Wings were eager to turn things around, fielding a fresh lineup that included Carrington, Bueckers, and seasoned star Arike Ogunbowale. Meanwhile, the Lynx, just coming off a WNBA Finals run, were widely favored to seize victory and dominate the matchup.
Eric Cruz. Whoa.
But here's where the drama amps up to shocking levels. Late in the third quarter, with the Wings trailing by 10, Lynx forward Jessica Shepard secured a rebound and sprinted down the court on a fast break. Carrington, famed for her relentless defensive style, pushed herself to catch up. In a bold attempt to block Shepard's layup, she lunged fiercely for the ball, making heavy contact with Shepard's face and back. The play was intensely physical, some might call it over the line. And the ending? Well, you'll never believe how it unfolds.
Said she's got the green light, but so far Smith's first two shots of this game have been at the rim. Mabry, quick trigger on the three from the baseline. Marina
The referees immediately halted the game to review the play. After a tense discussion, Carrington was handed a flagrant foul for her contact, described by many as reckless and overly aggressive. Shepard, visibly shaken, managed to sink one of her two free throws, and the Lynx retained possession. The final score showed the Lynx narrowly defeating the Wings, 85-81. However, the controversy over the flagrant foul quickly became the center of post-game debates. And this is just the surface. To grasp why the incident has caused such a firestorm, we need to delve into Carrington's background. Here's what they haven't revealed yet. Dijonai Carrington, named the 2024 WNBA Most Improved Player, has long cultivated a reputation as one of the league's most formidable defenders. After 4 seasons with the Connecticut Sun, she was traded to the Dallas Wings in the offseason, bringing her relentless intensity to a team hungry for a boost. Known for her quickness, physicality, and fearlessness in challenging opponents, Carrington's aggressive style is her trademark. But that same fierce tenacity has previously landed her in hot water.
She might have been Tina Charles' kryptonite. She was a lot of players' kryptonite. Diamond Miller checks in for Minnesota, hands it off to Napheesa Collier, who gets her first basket of the game.
Last season, Carrington was at the center of a heated controversy when she unintentionally poked Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark in the eye during a game. Both players quickly downplayed the incident, emphasizing that it was not deliberate and calling it an accidental mishap.
Harassed by Carrington, finds Boston. Clark gets hit in the face by Carrington and is down. Caitlin Clark is down. No call as Connecticut takes advantage, and Clark is still down.
And just when it seemed things couldn't get any more intense, in 2025, her aggressive approach on the court is once again under the microscope. Analyst Jason Whitlock didn't sugarcoat his opinion, declaring, "Carrington is heading towards seriously injuring a player in the WNBA. She once again uses her fingernail to scrape the face of an opponent." While his remarks are provocative, they echo a rising concern that Carrington's physicality could potentially cross a dangerous line. But wait, it gets even more dramatic.
Right off the glass, that was a beautiful high-low play. Courtney Williams, the sling pass, Heidemann, one more pass, Collier from the wing, 3.
The flagrant foul on Shepard ignited a whirlwind of reactions. This is where everything spiraled out of control. Social media exploded with posts dissecting the incident. One fan called it a chippy moment, suggesting the contact was unintentional but still overly harsh. However, many were far less forgiving. One post read, "Dijonai Carrington tries to gouge another eye out against Lynx," a highly exaggerated claim that added fuel to the fiery debate, painting Carrington as a dangerously reckless player.
What changed? I think they made adjustments. I think that, it could be fatigue. It could, I don't know. I gotta go watch the film too. I just think that they stepped it up a level and we stayed the same. And in this league, everyone's too good for that. So we just have to be more locked in, more focused. We blew a lot of coverages and gave them a lot of open shots, honestly. We'll figure it out though.
And here's the shocking part. The controversy extended far beyond the foul itself, heavily influenced by Carrington's past. Some fans defended her, praising her toughness and comparing her to players like Angel Reese, who openly embrace physical play as a core element of their style. An article from Sportska highlighted that WNBA fans reacted strongly to Carrington's flagrant foul, noting how she stood her ground, unlike Caitlin Clark, who was criticized for her actions against Angel Reese. This comparison intensified the debate, painting Carrington as a symbol of grit and resilience, while others accused her of crossing into recklessness. It fueled a heated narrative pitting her against other high-profile players, framing the issue as a clash between raw toughness and dangerous over-aggression.
The shot, Heidemann in the open court, gives it up to Shepard, who is hammered. And Shepard gets up, looks at Dijonai Carrington. Teammates are holding her back.
What happens next could totally shift the course of everything. The big question on everyone's mind, will Carrington face suspension? So far, the WNBA has not issued any official statement beyond the initial flagrant foul. Still, the league has a precedent for reviewing such incidents, especially when they involve contact to the head or face. Carrington's past fallout with Caitlin Clark, though ruled accidental, adds a layer of complexity that might influence the league's decision. And if you think that's the end of it, think again. This event sparks much larger debates about physicality in the WNBA. Here's where it really flips the script. The league has long championed its competitive edge, with icons like Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner setting a high bar for tough, gritty play. But as the WNBA's popularity surges, fueled by stars like Buchers, Clark, and Reese, the scrutiny over controversial plays ramps up. And as this controversy unfolds, the scene is becoming increasingly perilous.
Maybe err a little bit lenient, but I'm cool with them being a little bit lenient rather than ignoring it. Last year, these type of plays were ignored. This year, at least they're being lenient with it, which I'm fine with. Which I'm absolutely fine with. The referees last year was a weird one. I remember Caitlin got away with the most obvious flagrant foul in history last year. She went for the ball on Jordan Canada and got nowhere near the ball and just swiped on Jordan Canada's head.
Carrington's aggressive style isn't unique to her. Athletes like Alyssa Thomas in the WNBA and Draymond Green in the NBA have garnered similar reputations, often teetering on the edge between fierce defense and crossing into excessive force. The key difference is how they are perceived and the consequences they face, which in many cases have been severe and unforgiving. For Carrington, the situation is even more complex due to her identity as a black woman in a league where issues of race and gender are frequently scrutinized. The death threats and racial slurs she faced following the Clark incident highlight a darker side of fan behavior, one that can drown out any legitimate critique of her on-court conduct. But here's what most people completely overlook. The WNBA's officiating and disciplinary systems are under intense pressure to strike a delicate balance between safeguarding player safety and maintaining the game's physical intensity.
Ended up winning a spot on Connecticut's roster. Mabry. The wing three ball goes, and Marina Mabry is 4 of 5 from...
A suspension for Carrington could send a powerful message, showing that the league is serious about cracking down on reckless and dangerous plays. On the other hand, if the league chooses to let the flagrant foul slide without further punishment, it could encourage players to push the limits of physicality even more. And this is where things get incredibly complicated. For the Dallas Wings, this controversy arrives at a critical and turbulent moment. This part, it changes everything. The team is in the middle of a rebuild, with a new coaching staff and a roster full of fresh faces, including Buchers and Carrington. Their rocky 0-2 start to the 2025 season, with losses to the Lynx and the Seattle Storm, reveals the growing pains of integrating so much new talent. Carrington, expected to take on a veteran leadership role, has already been a bright spot, scoring 15 points in the season opener and hitting a crucial three-pointer against the Lynx. But what happens next? It's truly mind-blowing. The Wings' defensive struggles were painfully obvious in both defeats, with Carrington herself acknowledging they missed a lot of coverages against Minnesota. Her flagrant foul, while a mistake, also underscored her role as the team's defensive anchor. The next moves the league and the team make could have seismic effects on her career and the future of the franchise.
A lot of expectations on your new teammate, Paige, obviously. Just what are you seeing from her so far?
I'm seeing that Paige can't guard me. That's what I'm saying. Nah, but you know, she's a student of the game. Her IQ is super high. You don't have to tell her things multiple times. You know, it's quick. So they'll draw something up. We got to go execute it. And she's able to translate from the board to the court real quick. She understands basketball. She understands reading defenses. She understands defensively how to switch and, you know, just kind of being there for each other.
And by the end of this, you'll see why this situation is so pivotal. If the WNBA decides to suspend Carrington, the Wings risk losing a vital player during a crucial part of their season, which could severely hinder team chemistry and performance. Coach Christine Cochran, in her inaugural season, now faces the daunting task of guiding a young, growing roster through this turbulence while managing the repercussions of this controversial incident.
The shot, Heidemann in the open court. Gives it up to Shepard, who is hammered. And Shepard gets up, looks at Dijonai Carrington. Teammates are holding her back, separating.
On the flip side, the Minnesota Lynx are riding a wave of confidence. And here's the final twist. It's something totally unexpected. Led by Natalie Nakase, who scored an impressive 34 points in the season opener and kept her stellar performance going in the May 21st game, the Lynx are emerging as serious title contenders. Jessica Shepard, the player who took Carrington's foul, is a crucial part of their rotation. Her reaction to the incident, described as heated but quickly calming down, indicated she saw it as just part of the game's tough, physical nature. But here's what really matters. Shepard managed to sink one of her 2 free throws, and the Lynx's following possession helped secure their victory. While the team's sights remain set on winning a championship, this incident has added fuel to their fierce rivalry with the Wings. And that's when everything truly snapped into focus. With seasoned veterans and finals experience under their belt, the Lynx aren't likely to let this moment derail their season. Instead, it could ignite even more intense versions of their future battles.
Heidemann in the open court. Gives it up to Shepard, who is hammered. And Shepard gets up, looks at Dijonai Carrington. Teammates are holding her back.
The fallout from the incident dominated social media and mainstream sports coverage. Outlets like Sportska and Yahoo Sports analyzed the flagrant foul in depth, with some framing it as a continuation of Carrington's aggressive playing style. Jason Whitlock's inflammatory comments, though controversial, intensified the narrative, painting Carrington as a dangerously reckless player. The reactions across social media ranged from cautious, analytical takes to outright vitriol and personal attacks. And the reality behind it all? It's absolutely staggering. These polarized responses underscore the WNBA's ongoing growing pains as it grapples with increased visibility, fan engagement, and the scrutiny that comes with it. While some fans paint Carrington as a villain, others see her as a passionate competitor who's being unfairly targeted, a symbol of the league's broader struggles to balance intensity, safety, and fair play in the spotlight.
I'm seeing that Paige can't guard me. She can't guard me.
We're on the same team.
Well, you started it.
Yeah, but you paid for my life. Like, I didn't.
The league's review process could result in a suspension for Dijonai Carrington, which would send shockwaves through the Wings season and reignite the debate over physicality in the sport. And here's where everything truly came into focus. For Carrington, this moment is a crucial test of resilience. Her undeniable talent is clear. She scored 15 points in the season opener and has proven to be a fierce defender, cementing her role as a key piece in the Wings' rebuilding puzzle. However, if controversies continue to spiral, they could ultimately define her career if not managed properly. And the most exciting part? We're only just beginning. The WNBA stands at a crossroads, tasked with safeguarding player safety while maintaining the fiery, competitive spirit that makes the league truly special.
With the drive, the take, blocks, gets it back. Carlton, three-pointer. That's the way to end the quarter for Minnesota.
The Carrington incident is more than just a single foul. It symbolizes the broader intersection of physicality, media scrutiny, and the evolving identity of the WNBA. Regardless of whether she faces a suspension, this moment will influence perceptions of her and the league throughout the 2025 season. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, share with fellow fans, and subscribe for more updates. Stay tuned for all the latest.